All right, what a day. Really excited about Julius Pepper's induction into the Hall of Fame. They got a little bit of a rain delay for the ceremony. We were going to sit and watch it as a team, so we'll cut it up for the guys just so we can stay on our schedule. But really cool. You might have seen some of the shirts out there, just kind of honoring that. I had an opportunity to coach against him a couple times in different places, Chicago, Green Bay here. So a lot of high-level respect for him. Really exciting for the organization. FanFest, again, fantastic. We had a chance to watch the film. We had about, 2 hours, 45 minutes or so to get back. So, the coaches, we were all kind of communicating on the buses and evaluating the tape from that. Never as good, never as bad as what you think. The penalties made it feel kind of bad for me. But as we look at the execution, the mental errors were really low on both sides. And that's what we're trying to get done. The energy was great. The fans added to that. So that was cool. And then just today's challenge is coming off of an off day is really to get that focus back. And I saw the guys really, really trying hard to get themselves there. Early on we had a walkthrough, started a little flat, but it was really cool to see Bryce, to see Derek kind of talk to the guys, and say, okay, here we go. We don't get to waste any time. We're right back to work. And then by the time we got to practice, the energy that was there from the first drill all the way through the last. So I love the guys responding. And I think for me, it's so important, as we ask of them things, to see them respond. And it just kind of talks about the character of this group. And they've been really good with that so far. So I was excited about that.
Dave, four notable guys sidelined. Tommy, Ian not here.
Yeah.
Shaq and Damian. Can you give us
Yeah.
updates on those guys?
Yep. So, Tommy is probably, a weekish out, with the hamstring, just trying to get him to full health before we get him back out there. Ian's got a calf. That's going to take some time. That's going to take us really closely up to, week 1. So our goal is to just get those guys back. Instead of forcing them back out here, let's make sure we get them healthy and feel really good about getting them back out. Damian Lewis, again, just, the shoulder, just trying to make sure that we're managing that. It's still a little bit stoved up right now, so we're just trying to get his shoulder to calm down so he can get back out there, but he's been getting auxiliary work. Then who else did you ask about? And then Shaq. Yeah, Shaq, same thing, just a hamstring. He caught it early, so we're just trying to get on top of that, making sure he's getting his conditioning and putting him out there. And I think the cool part is the tempo of our practices are the energy and the intensity is so high. We're pushing them so hard that these guys kind of can feel that, if they're not quite right, they can't really float through anything that we're doing. And so they're being smart about that. We're all being smart about that.
Tight end. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
kind of have like a mash unit there.
Yeah.
What's the plan for kind of supplementing that group if Ian is out close to week 1 right now?
Yeah, really right now, I mean, first and foremost, great opportunities for Jatavian, for Jordan, and for Felipe to really get honed in on their craft. But really practicing with 3 tight ends is really iffy. So we're doing our due diligence. We have some guys that we got our eye on that we're going to try to bring in short order, because we got to be able to practice with a strong group. It's good for both sides. The defense needs to see multiple tight end sets, a big part of what we do. So we'll definitely be looking for somebody else to have another opportunity to show us who they are, in case we need them going forward.
Dave, what have you seen from Jatavion during these, not just today, but over camp?
It's exponential growth every day. So especially for the young guys, as they start to stack up technique and reps, especially for Jatavian, whether it's in the run game, in the pass game, or the protection unit, what I've seen him do is just kind of really take big leaps in the techniques. And you'll see that with young guys. You'll see big leaps, and then you want to get them to a point where it's consistent. And then we take our incremental growth, just like some of the veteran guys have been around. So JT is taking those steps that we're looking for. Made a big play at FanFest to end the scrimmage on a corner. Had a couple nice plays today, nice catches. So he's doing it. He's making the most of his opportunity. It's pushed him right up with that first group to be able to show the guys you can count on him. And he's being really dependable with that.
Dave, have you decided when you're going to bring in a quarterback, or are you going to bring in a quarterback?
Yeah, we're definitely going to bring a quarterback in. We're working on that with our roster numbers, as you know. As we get a little bit banged up in camp, it's just you have to create spots for those players, and so we have to put our brains together, with the personnel and coaching staff to say, where does that number come from to be able to add that quarterback. But we're definitely going to need him to come in and be able to function in our first preseason game. So
Or for like a a veteran guy or maybe a younger guy?
Either really. We're evaluating both, and it's really just looking for somebody that we feel like can function in the pro offense. So maybe somebody with a little bit of professional experience. So he's used to being under center, used to doing some of those things, so we can really get a good look at our guys down the roster at the end of these preseason games. We got to be able to still function and get our plays off to do that.
How's Jonathan Brooks progressing, and do you feel like he'll get any preseason action?
He will not. He will not play this preseason. He's doing great. I saw him running out a little bit before practice. They have a progression on him. He feels stronger and stronger every day. He's really focused, and he's into what we're doing mentally with our walkthroughs, just watching and in classroom and stuff. He's been really attentive that way. So I'm happy about what he's doing there. And then physically, this is a guy that really can make an impact for us. So again, want to be really smart about when we bring him back in.
Is there a chance that he and maybe even DJ Wadham could start the season on
There's a chance, so again, we have to just take it week by week and really trust the information we're getting from our training staff.
Andy, do you have any update on Andy now that it's been a couple more days with his quad, like what his timeline is?
Yeah, he's feeling a lot better. It's like 2 to 3 weeks or so. And again, got to be smart. He's really important to us.
Are you surprised that Jonathan's not going to be ready for the preseason, or is that something you expected coming in?
Yeah, it's something that we expected. Even just coming into the spring, we knew just the timeline and progression of where he was at. We knew we were not going to have him for the preseason. And even if he was kind of ready, it's still, there's a confidence thing. We want to be able to just ramp him up little by little to the point where he feels ready to go. And so it's kind of been in the works.
You're looking at like what, 3, week 3, 4, or what's?
Yeah, something around there. Week 3, week 4, that would be great. But again, this is a guy with a long career in front of him, somebody that we think really highly of. So we want to make sure we're really smart with this one.
Is DJ Johnson in line to start on Thursday?
Yeah. DJ definitely is going to play, so he could be out there with the first group. I think that's a conversation we have to have with our defensive staff as well. But he's been doing great, and he's showing like he knows what he's doing. He played physical at FanFest. He was really, really impressed me. Just playing the run especially, and so I can't wait to see him out there and see where he's at now.
Coach?
Any concern about Shaq at all? This is not different from what he had last fall.
I'm not concerned. I think because of the nature of when we caught it, how we caught it, I think this was a really smart decision for us. We're really counting on Shaq, especially just with that whole veteran unit and their communication. So I think this is going to be just, being smart about it. And I think he's probably a couple weeks away from being back out there and working with us.
Hamstring not related to the broken ankle.
Correct. Yeah.
Just to clarify, you were asked about week 3, week 4 for Jonathan.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that he couldn't be activated before then. Or...
Correct. Yeah. And so just to your point, it's like the on-field progression, the type of cuts, linear running versus the change of direction versus going over bags and then progressively getting into team sessions, like that whole thing's got to be right, particularly when we transition from straight line to the change of direction in the aggressive manner. So that's going to be really the limiting factor or the determining factor how soon we can get him back or when we should be thinking, conservatively.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Good? All right, thank you.